Yoso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Sawakato Yena Bhagavata Dhammo Supatipanno Yasa Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Tamayang Bhagavantang Sadhammang Sasankhang Himehi Sakare Hiyatarahang Aropitehi Apepujayama Sadhu no bhante Bhagava Suchira Parini Buddhapi Pachima Janatanukampamanasa Hime Sakare Dukatapana Karabute Patikam Hatu Amhakam Digaratang Hitaya Sukaya Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Bhutang Bhagavantang Abhivatemi Svakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Sanghang Namami Handamayang Buddhasa Bhagavato Pupapakanamakarang Karomase Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties, and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another, or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another, even as the mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness, over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to fixed views. The pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being free from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. 28. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakatua Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipannuva Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅko Saṅghang Namami. One of the ways that Luang Por Chah used to talk about meditation was Pakpon Chit, which is Chitta is mind or heart, and resting of the heart. And like Citta Viveka is Chitter's monastery, Vivek is like going away from the complexities of the world. Or, as I was telling Jean, we were kind of playing around with that. We had a retreat in Singapore. We called it the Vacation of the Heart. And it was a Christmas retreat, so. But the idea there is that we put the world down rather than pick it up. And here, in terms of the world, it's really, again, we're talking about Dharma reality rather than conventional reality. Conventional reality, there's all our responsibilities there, and I keep referring to that so that we don't become kind of absolutist in a kind of quietism where we're not going to get involved with anything. We're just going to sit in a cave forever and a day. And I know we're not into that. So the world then is your perceptions, your memories, the concepts, the sense of self, history, past, future. And it's really interesting that the sense of self, which comes up with a memory, you can know. So there is a sense of self, but it's not permanent. And you can see that when you let go of thinking, and in the silence of the mind, that gross sense of ego self isn't there. Right? Like just right now, just silent. And then, wow, I'm hot. Well, I need a shower, or wow, get that air conditioner. So the world gets born into the mind. So that's like picking up the world. But if I just go back, oh, yeah, hot feels this way. Then I'm back to the silence of the mind, without negating the need for a shower. I don't want any friends. And that's kind of one of the ways you can facilitate that is, of course, through body awareness, because like if you're meditating and you pick up the world of your concerns through thought, then there'll be tension in the body. And if you're meditating with the desire for finding something called insight, satori or whatever, there'll be tension in the body. If you're resisting pain, the pain will be there, and then there's the resistance to the pain. So body awareness, not as just a kind of hard focus on one part of the body, but as suggesting this like whole body awareness that you do in Yoga Nidra. Then when you're sitting there and you're attentive, And then you can see, oh yeah, the hands are actually kind of tense, they're clenched. And then, oh yeah, you're picking something up. Ah, okay. It's like this. And your whole body relaxes with the mind. Now, obviously, sometimes you need more coarse effort and attention. So there is a kind of range of right effort depending on the context of what is going on in your mind. So if you're sleepy, you do this and you'll be this. So you don't do that. We put more vigor into the body. You push the spine up and open the shoulders. And then once you have a strong posture, you just watch the neck, basically. That's what I do. If I'm drowsy, like in the last Thai retreat, I damaged the shoulder, so I was really quite exhausted. And so most of the retreat was just sleepiness. All right, well, okay. 48 years as a monk, fine, why not? So, okay, so how do you, it's just around the neck. So if I can be attentive, first of all, if I'm dull and sleepy, then I have to stop meditating. Because, if you're dull and sleepy, whatever you're doing in meditation is making you dull and sleepy. So forget about meditation. Look around and just kind of open your eyes and just pinch yourself, do whatever, but just get back into the game. And then set up a good posture, and then just that, just the neck. Yep. Well, there it is. Okay, and you kind of really get good at that, but then sometimes there's just the mind. Here, there are no issues of energy, or there isn't a strong emotional actually not that much going on, and then your attention and effort becomes much more refined. And then, like, body awareness is so helpful, so very, very helpful, because the body gives you more information, doesn't it? What's actually going on. So then, like when I did this meditation of going through the body, making conscious the feelings of the body, and I keep emphasizing that because I find that language more helpful than concentrating on a bodily part. So if I then have cultivated that sense of just let the body be conscious, let it be feeling, let it come into feeling, and then I'm just aware of the way things are, and then as I make effort, oh wow, look at that, it's in the hands, it's in the shoulders, it's wherever it is, and then you don't even have to deliberately relax, because sometimes deliberately relaxing makes you more tense. So you just notice tension feels this way. And then there's a natural, yeah, okay. So again, it's like, Ajahn Sucitto uses this idea a lot, like tuning in what the mind free from desire feels like, what the mind that is not picking up the world, what it actually feels like. So when you find that you're engaged in past and future thinking, which is 90% of our thoughts, I suppose, and you awaken to that, then can you also awaken to what the body's doing, rather than just be caught in a kind of only in the mental realm. Oh gosh, I'm thinking too much, I should just so what's the whole picture? Well, the whole picture is there's body consciousness, the body awareness, there's moods, there's thoughts coming and going, and all the time, for me at least, I get this sense of a broad attention, open awareness. This is in awareness. So you keep emphasizing the background as opposed to the foreground. And there's subtleties in that. There's a lot of interesting exploration. But the results are that you walk away from the meditation in a way where you get confidence. Yeah, you really know, yeah, that works, because the sense of the background and non-grasping, it carries on, doesn't it? It's not like you create some experience through concentration, build it up, manufacture it, and then it crumbles. No, because I've done that. I don't know about you. I've certainly done meditations where I've held everything back, built up, as it were, a strong sense of deep, deep, deep serenity. But then when the causes and conditions for that are not there, then it kind of crumbles, and the old habits manifest again, habits of greed, hatred, and delusion in whatever manner. Whereas this, for me, I don't know if you see the difference, but for me it's not really, it's basically not participating in the foreground. The foreground still comes and goes as memory, as even bodily feeling, and the sense of it is to abide as the background, as witnessing. Witnessing, now is the knowing. At least this is the kind of language that I find helpful. So when you are meditating, you want to, as you start, what's the energy form now? Like, are you really quite with it, or you just feel really dull? Do you feel restless? What's it? And you don't have to find a definition. You just have to kind of tune in. Okay, what's actually going on? Right. So, like now, I can tune in, and obviously hot and sweaty. But the background is not hot and sweaty. Fortunately, the background has no quality. So then, if I rest in the background, and the body is as it is, then I can relax with the body. And if the relaxation, I just, maybe I've walked too far and I'm tired, then the relaxation would take me to that. All right, okay, then I have to change the posture. Okay, how could I do that? So body awareness is kind of constantly informing you. So that happens, I kind of start to crumble. Oh, okay, this is going to be boring. Or I'm going to have to put some energy into it. So then, through experience, you might do like 10 minutes of pranayama, or whatever asanas you like to do, or whatever way you like to do that. But the basic thing is that there isn't enough vitality. And then sometimes there's too much, you're trying too hard. And one of the curious things of the hindrances, because you have these two hindrances, dullness and restlessness in classic Theravada meditation language, people who oftentimes who feel restless try harder to concentrate the mind, and people who feel dull do the opposite. So I'll say, would you, pick up your posture? Come on, pick up your posture. And it's like the opposite of what you should be doing. So like the sleepy mind is kind of what, I don't know, habitually, is it lazy? No, it's just sort of, it's just dull. It's just dull. It is what it is. But then the effort depends on that, and then vice versa. So if you're finding you're like meditating and like you keep looking at the clock, every 10 minutes, and you keep changing your posture, well, that's restlessness, isn't it? You don't want to settle into the posture, then you say, well, I'm going to do nothing. Just like you start to like language like doing nothing, going nowhere, being no one, that kind of language. And then just not trying so hard, because there is enough vitality, and so on and so forth. So the inquiring mind is not just a mind which is trying to produce a result through a technique. That I don't think that works. And I think all of us have probably, we started with meditation, and maybe we started with a strong technique, and I know for myself I was very willful and very determined, but there wasn't much wisdom in that. I had to learn. And then the willfulness and the whole doingness of meditation begins to not make sense. So I try something really, really hard, and I get some kind of result, and then I take off that effort. It's gone. No, I don't think this is it. So rather than like criticizing myself, well, you can't do that method, I would just say, well, what is it about this constant need to do? Need to hold something or accomplish something, and then the mind kind of begins to incline more to being rather than doing. Often in spiritual literature you hear that, being rather than becoming. So what would that be like? Just being present rather than doing something. And these are the kind of explorations, I think, which bring you to right effort and right attitude to the practice. But it always begins with the awakening, like, what's it really like now? What's it feel like now? And then in the quietness of your mind, you get intuitions about how to actually practice with the energy you have. So let's have a sweaty meditation. For those of us who are sweaty.